Imagine it's late. You're home alone, maybe watching a movie, maybe just scrolling on your phone. Then you hear it. A knock at the door. Not loud, not aggressive. Just a soft, polite tap. You get up, a little annoyed, a little curious. Who could it be at this hour? You look through the peephole and see a child standing on your porch. Maybe two. They look young, somewhere between 6 and 16. Their voice, when it comes through the door, is calm, almost unnervingly so. They need help. Their car broke down. They need to call their parents. Can they just use your phone for a minute? Can they please come inside? Something feels wrong. Their words are too perfect, too formal for a child. There's no slang, no hesitation, no emotion. It's like they're reading lines from a script. You hesitate, your hand on the doorknob. You feel a strange sense of unease, a cold dread creeping up your spine. You decide to take a closer look, maybe through the window. And that's when you see their eyes. They aren't normal. There are no whites, no irises, no pupils. Just solid, soulless black voids staring back at you. Suddenly, the unease explodes into pure, primal terror. It's a physical sensation, like a punch to the gut. Every instinct in your body is screaming at you to lock the door, turn off the lights, and hide. You have just encountered the black-eyed children. This is a modern urban legend, but one with roots that seem to stretch back through centuries of folklore. The first widely reported encounter in the digital age came from a journalist named Ryan Bethel in Abilene, Texas, back in 1996. He was sitting in his car in a parking lot when two boys approached his window. They were articulate, polite, and they wanted a ride home. They needed to get money to see a movie, they said. They promised they weren't dangerous. Brian felt an unexplainable fear grip him. He described it as a fight or flight response kicking in for no logical reason. He was confused by his own reaction. He almost rolled down the window to let them in, but something stopped him. He looked closely at their faces, and that's when he saw their eyes, coal black, complete and total darkness. He threw the car in reverse and sped away, shaking uncontrollably, leaving the boys standing silently in his rearview mirror. Since Bethel shared his story online, thousands of similar accounts have surfaced from all over the world. The details are frighteningly consistent. The children almost always appear at night, often in pairs. They target isolated locations, lonely stretches of road, or houses at the end of a quiet street. Their clothing is often described as strange or outdated, not quite fitting in with modern styles. Their skin is pale, almost sickly. But the most consistent detail, the one that ties every story together, is the request. They always ask for permission. May we come in? Can you give us a ride? We need to use your phone. They never try to force their way in. It's as if they are bound by some invisible rule, a law that requires an invitation. They need you to say yes. They feed on your politeness, your compassion, your desire to help a child in need. This element of needing permission is what connects the modern legend to much older folklore. All across the globe, there are stories of malevolent entities that cannot cross a threshold without being invited. Vampires are the most famous example, but countless other stories from Japan, the United Kingdom, and Native American traditions speak of dangerous spirits, often taking the form of children who trick their way into homes to bring misfortune, illness, or death. Are the black-eyed children simply a new face for an ancient evil? Those who claim to have made the mistake of letting them in describe chilling consequences. The moment the children cross the threshold, the atmosphere changes. Pets will cower, hiss, or become unusually aggressive. Electronics will malfunction or die completely. Lights will flicker and die. Witnesses report a sudden feeling of weakness, dizziness, or nosebleeds. One terrifying account tells of a couple who let two children into their home on a stormy night. The woman immediately suffered a severe nosebleed, and her husband suddenly collapsed, overcome with a debilitating sickness. The children watched, their black eyes devoid of any emotion, before simply turning and walking back out into the rain. Doctors later found the husband had suffered severe internal damage, with no clear medical explanation. By the time he recovered, the children were long gone, leaving only a lingering sense of dread and a warning for others. So what are they? The theories are as numerous as the sightings. Some believe they are ghosts, the lost souls of children who met a tragic end. Others argue they are demonic entities, cloaking themselves in an innocent form to gain access to our world. The alien theory is also popular. Perhaps they are extraterrestrial hybrids, here to study us or abduct us, their black eyes a biological feature or a protective lens. Maybe there's something else entirely, a new kind of interdimensional predator that has only recently begun to make its presence known. Each theory attempts to explain their strange behavior, their formal speech, their outdated clothes, their aura of fear, and most importantly, their eyes. But no single explanation fits perfectly. They remain an enigma, a terrifying question mark that appears on your doorstep when you least expect it. They seem to test our humanity. They present us with a dilemma. A child is asking for help. Our natural response is to provide it. But with the black-eyed children, that very compassion becomes a weapon used against us. They prey on our good nature. The one thing all survivors and researchers agree on is the final, crucial rule. If you hear that knock late at night, if you see a pale-faced child standing outside, if their calm, articulate voice asks to be invited inside, resist the urge to help. Look at their eyes. If you see nothing but an endless, terrifying blackness staring back, your course of action is simple. Do not open the door. Do not speak to them. Back away from the window, lock everything, and wait for the sun to rise. Because whatever they are, they need your permission to enter. Don't give it to them. Don't invite the darkness in. Thanks for watching. If you have your own chilling story to share, leave it in the comments below. And don't forget to follow for a deep dive into the unexplained. Stay safe out there.